Here's the thing. If you are not where you want to be right now, whether that is in your business or in your career or in your fitness and health journey, I can tell you the reason that is. And this is probably hands down the reason that this is the seed or the root of why you continue to just circle where you're at and never actually move on up to where you want to be. And that is that you're afraid to take imperfect action. So here's what I mean by that. We often are waiting to get everything right? We feel like, oh, I'm ready to launch my business or the new product, the new endeavor with inside my business once I know all these things. Or I'll be ready to ask for that promotion or go out on a limb and switch with working with companies so that I can move instead of laterally, I can move vertically in my career once I X, Y, and Z. Or gosh, I would definitely start taking my fitness and my health seriously if I found the program that I knew I was perfectly going to be able to fit into my schedule. But until then, I feel like I'm just going to fail. So I'm not going to take action. And so you're holding yourself in a holding pattern, stuck where you're at, because you're afraid that until you know exactly what to do, that it'll be a waste of your time. And I'm here to tell you that is exactly the opposite of what truth is. Over the years, for myself, as I'm a growing human being, and with my clients, one of the most important things that I have learned to help myself and other people get unstuck, whether that be career, whether that be fitness and health as a peak performance coach, helping people in all those areas, we help them learn that instead of waiting for the perfect time or the perfect thing or all their ducks to finally be in a row, what we want to do is take strategic imperfect action, because in that strategic imperfect action, it gets the ball rolling. It starts to begin momentum. But more importantly, it teaches us what we don't know that actually matters, so we can start refining the process at each new iteration versus waiting to know everything before we try to do something. Because I promise you, when you do that, you'll realize the problems that you were trying to prepare for never came up and were never an issue, but there was a myriad of other issues that you didn't know would need to be dealt with. Therefore, you weren't prepared until you were in the midst of the thing. And that's why strategic imperfect action makes all the difference. Because when we take that imperfect action, that was definitely imperfect action. When we take that ourselves, then we're able to ascertain what really needs to change, what really needs to be refined, where we really are coming up short, and then hone our energy and skill there while we're moving forward, not from a stagnant place. So why I'm even sharing this with you today is my own little story. And I think this is going to be a good example for you to see how this needs to play out in your life. Like, I beg you, stop being afraid to take imperfect action, because you're just going to be here 12 months from now, once again in this. So this morning, I'm in my shower getting ready to go see my clients, and I'm thinking through a process that I'm walking one of my clients through. And as I'm thinking through it, I'm feeling really solid about what we're doing. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this memory, this flashback of 2014, just graduating with my degree in exercise science, starting to train clients on the physical fitness end of my business at the time. And all of a sudden, the way that I would have dealt with this issue with a client way back then, like, boils up in my memory from somewhere. And it was so cringy. It was so cringy, you guys. I was like, ugh. And as I was sitting there, like, appalled at my cringiness, this truth really hit me. And I was just reminded how important this thing that I teach my clients, this process of strategic, imperfect action, how it's so powerful through my own life. So 2014, I graduate with my degree in exercise science. I start the physical and nutrition end of my current business. And I am feeling very solid in my education. I have a great education. I'm feeling very solid in my business background that I am bringing to my new business now. I'm feeling very good about all things this business. And I start training clients and I'm working with them and all of that. And in the midst of that, I feel like I'm doing fantastic, because I was taking what I knew from my solid education and my business background, was merging them together, and it was going really great. But from this perspective, fast forward almost 10 years later, when I look back, the actions I was taking then are cringy, only comparative to what I have learned in the process now. What I mean by that is, over the years, I have realized, oh, this area I need to learn a little bit more. I wasn't, I didn't get enough information there, or I need to handle this situation with a client better in this way. Let me go learn how to do that a little bit better. But those are all things that when I first started my business, I had no clue I would need. None whatsoever. I only learned them because I was in the trenches of my business, taking what I knew at the time and applying it. And that has allowed me to incrementally, little by little, month by month, year by year, determine where I needed to get better, how I could better serve my clients, how to better handle things with clients, or help them work them out. And I would have never, ever gained that education if I was waiting to have the education first. So as I look back, while my first efforts in my business, which has been a wonderful, blessed, successful story for myself, are cringy to the Alicia today of 2023, they weren't cringy back then. I just was excited and I took action because I felt like, while I don't know everything yet, I'm willing to learn it while I go. And because of that, I've been able to scale my business, grow my business, and have a profitable business. But none of that would have happened if I was afraid to take strategic action. So my challenge to you is this. Ask yourself, where am I afraid to take imperfect action? Where am I holding myself back because I think I need to know more, understand more, get all these systems in place before I take action? I promise you, those are things you're going to realize were not as important, and you will not be prepared for the things that truly are. So it doesn't matter. The only way you can do this is challenge yourself today. Where do I hold myself back? What part of my business right now is in this stalled pattern because I'm afraid to take action? And how could I be strategic and be okay with imperfect action?